OpenAI just dropped its brand new GPT 5.3 Codex model, and it comes with a dedicated Mac app. But here's the thing, they're not just calling it another coding assistant, they're calling it an agent. So today, we're going to put that claim to the test and see if this is all just marketing or if it's a real leap forward for AI in software development. Yeah, OpenAI is not pulling any punches here. They are calling this the most capable agentic coding model to date. That is a seriously bold claim. It's basically saying this isn't just a tool that'll finish a line of code for you. No, it's an agent that can think, plan, and actually carry out complex tasks all on its own. So, the big question is, does it really live up to all that hype? Well, we're about to find out. We're going to put this new app through its paces on a real-world project and see if OpenAI's claim actually holds up. Okay, first things first. Before we dive into the live demo, let's just talk about the app itself. You know, how to get it, what it feels like to use, and the initial setup. Right off the bat, there are a few things you should know. First, the branding is a little confusing. OpenAI has a few different things called Codex, so keep that in mind. Second, the desktop app is for Mac only right now, but there is a web version you can use. But here's the best part, it's totally free to try for a limited time, even if you don't have a paid subscription. So, it's the perfect chance to take it for a spin yourself. All right, enough talk. Let's see what this thing can actually do. We're firing up the app with a real project to test its limits. And we're starting with one of its most talked about features, the ability to run multiple AI agents in parallel. Getting started is actually super simple. You just point the app to a project, it can be on your computer or on GitHub, and then you pick the GPT 5.3 Codex model. You can even adjust its reasoning effort. So for really complex stuff, you can crank it all the way up, though it will take a bit longer to think. Or, for a quick change, you can just tell it to skip the planning and get right to the code. So for our first challenge, we took this pretty basic finance tracker app, and we gave the AI a really ambitious task. We told it, using just a voice command, to do a complete visual overhaul, make it look modern, and add some really slick animations. We didn't give it any specific directions. We just let it run. And I gotta say, the results were incredible. I mean, this was not just a simple color change. It completely reimagined the user interface with these beautiful gradients and super smooth animations. The whole app just felt modern and professional. And the fact that it did all of this right there on my machine in just a few minutes, well, it shows you just how powerful its front-end design skills are. Okay, now this is where things start to feel like they're straight out of science fiction. One of the absolute standout features we tested is the ability to run multiple AI agents at the same time. So get this, while one agent was still in the middle of that huge UI redesign, we spun up a second agent in a new thread and told it to build a brand new About page from scratch. And they both worked on the exact same project at the exact same time without a single conflict. This kind of parallel workflow is a massive, massive leap forward. And of course, it has all the essential tools a developer would need. You can easily see every single line of code that was changed with the diff view. If you want to switch to your favorite editor, you can hand off the project to VS Code or Cursor with just one click. And you can even manage your entire GitHub workflow, committing and pushing changes right from inside the app. But beyond all those great developer features, this is where Codex really starts to feel different. This is where we move past a simple assistant and into something way more powerful, using these things called skills and a protocol called MCP. The best way to think about skills is like giving Codex superpowers for specific jobs. So for example, you can add a Figma skill, which gives the AI a much deeper understanding of design files. Or you could add a Sentry skill, and suddenly it's much smarter about finding and fixing errors. It lets the AI go way beyond just general programming knowledge. Now, the underlying technology that makes all of this advanced teamwork possible is something called MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol. What it is, at its core, is a standard that lets all these different AI agents and tools talk to each other, almost like they're on the same team. Really, the simplest way to get it is to think of MCP as a universal language for AIs. It's what allows Codex to not just write its own code, but to actually command and orchestrate other specialized AI agents, telling them to perform tasks for it. And that unlocks some truly incredible possibilities. So to put that whole agentic claim to the ultimate test, we decided to connect Codex with another AI, an automated testing agent called TestSprite, using that exact MCP protocol we just talked about. So here's how this crazy workflow played out. First, we hooked up this AI testing tool, TestSprite, using MCP.
Then we gave Codex a super simple command: run a full front-end test. And from there, Codex took over. It commanded the TestSprite agent to create and run all the tests and then report the results back. And that led to the final, absolutely mind-blowing step: self-healing.
And we're not talking about a couple of quick checks here. The AI agent, all on its own, came up with and ran 14 distinct test cases for our little finance app. It methodically went through and checked all kinds of different features to find any bugs. And this is my favorite part. You don't just get a boring text report at the end. The tool actually gives you screen recordings of every single test. You can literally sit back and watch the AI's mouse clicking through your app, filling out forms. You get undeniable visual proof of everything it's doing. So the tests weren't perfect. It definitely found a few bugs, which is exactly what we were hoping for. But, finding bugs is one thing. The real question, the million-dollar question, is can this system actually close the loop? Can it fix its own mistakes? And the final prompt we gave it could not have been simpler. We didn't have to write some complex script or anything. We just handed it the failure report and said, in plain English, based on the test report, identify all the issues and then fix it. And just like that, it started analyzing the problems and patching the code. So after running it through a complete redesign, parallel tasks, and a full automated testing and healing cycle, what's the final verdict on GPT 5.3 Codex and this new Mac app?
Here's the bottom line. First, its ability to handle UI and front-end design is seriously impressive. Second, that parallel agent feature is a genuine game changer for how you work. But it's really the MCP integration that proves OpenAI's agentic claim is the real deal, unlocking these insane automated workflows like testing and self-healing. All of that together makes this a very, very strong contender in the AI coding space.
And all this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. When you have tools that can not only write code, but also design, test, and even fix their own bugs, are we watching the moment that AI stops being just a simple assistant and starts becoming a true partner in the act of creating software?